What's going on, everybody? Jolt here from the Token Minorities, and today I am bringing you Game 2 of the 3rd and 4th place match between Cheeseboy628 and Lucio Banaga. So if you happen to miss Game 1, I will leave it as a link in the description below, but definitely go back and check that out. Cheeseboy did pull off a pretty decisive victory using a pretty cool Trick Room team in Game 1. Here we are looking at Game 2, and it is featuring a Hyper Offense team by Cheeseboy628 and a Rain team by Lucio Banaga. So this is going to be a very interesting game. It does very much so appear to be in Lucio's favor, however, as Cheese does not appear to have very good answers to Rain, especially Mega Swampert. He quite honestly has nothing for Mega Swampert. Like literally nothing, maybe a bulky Garchomp if it's running Rocky Helmet, and on that note, he also doesn't have much for Kabutops, so Cheese is in a rough situation in this game. I'm just going to predict at Team Preview. That in mind, he also has a Mega Metagross, and if Lucio's Magnezone happens to be Choice Scarf, that Mega Metagross really can't pick up any free knockouts. So, Cheese has a very rough team preview. I will say, though, he does have the Azumarill, and regardless of what set it is, unless it's Assault Vest, which I kind of doubt given the makeup of this team, it has a pretty good matchup, especially if it runs Superpower, essentially. If it's a Belly Drum set with Superpower, Aqua Jet, and Play Rough, then that actually could just 6-0 sweep what Lucio is bringing here, especially in the Rain, as Aqua Jet would be boosted by the Rain. So we'll see what happens here. Let's go ahead and jump in. Again, Cheese is going to be on the near side, and Lucio is on the far side in this battle. So, Cheese decides to lead off with his Azumarill, which is an interesting play. On that note, I'm kind of expecting it to be Choice Banded, as that would allow him to potentially go for a Superpower on turn 1, predicting the Ferrothorn, or if he leads Politoed, I don't know. He has a lot of options, I guess, here. He just goes for the Belly Drum on turn 1. I don't know if I agree with that play personally, but he is able to get the +6 and the Citrus Berry off. We'll see if Lucio just goes for the Scald and gets the burn. If he gets the burn here, then that would kind of be GG for Cheese, as Azumarill is really all, at least from what I'm seeing, that can potentially put in a lot of work in this game. I guess Diggersby could be pretty good as well, but Diggersby against Rain is kind of tough, especially when the opposing team has a Kabutops, which under Rain would be able to outspeed it any day and KO with an Aqua Jet. So Cheese does just go for the knockoff on this turn, predicting the Ferrothorn, which is a good play, and Ferrothorn manages to barely survive, but that's a lot of damage on Ferrothorn, which is always nice, as Ferrothorn is probably the best support for a Rain team outside of course, Politoed, the Rain setter. But Azumarill is getting a little bit low on health, and Lucio reveals the Protect, which will make Azumarill take a little more damage from the Toxic Poison, and I think actually with that, it'll now be KO'd by the next turn. Lucio goes for the Double Protect, does get the Double Protect, so that's unfortunate for Cheese. Instead of it being a double down, he's just going to lose his Azumarill here, and he's going to have to take out Ferrothorn with something else. But in hindsight, it might actually be okay for Cheese, considering that means that one more turn of Rain is going to be spent with a weakened Ferrothorn on the field, so that's nice. Here he's bringing his Metagross, which is a little bit risky, especially if Lucio's Magnezone is Choice Scarfed, as if he goes for really anything here to take this out. I guess under Rain, HP Fire wouldn't do anything to Metagross, so I guess I'm wrong on that. But regardless, if Lucio's Magnezone is Choice Scarf, then this Metagross is going to at least take Volt Switch damage, which of course is not too good for him. But he does decide to go into his Swampert here, which is a good play as well. Although risky, because Cheese very well could have had Grass Knot, which would have KO'd the Swampert right here. But he does not have Grass Knot, it appears, and he goes into his Latias, which is not a counter to Swampert. I guess it could be, if the Swampert doesn't carry Ice Punch. I mean, that's possible. But he makes a very nice play and just goes for the Ice Punch, predicting the switch, and that does a truckload of damage to the Latias. A great play there by Lucio, and now under Swift Swim, he is going under Rain, and courtesy of Swift Swim, he's going to be able to take out the Latias with another Ice Punch. So down goes the Latias, and Lucio is looking to be in a very good situation in this game. Cheese does bring in his Garchomp here, which hints toward the fact that this might be a defensive set with Rocky Helmet, or maybe even a Yachi Berry to take this Ice Punch, but it doesn't. Oh, it lives with 1 HP because of a Focus Sash, of course. So this was a lead Garchomp. Now here, I don't know if he's going to go for Rocks or Earthquake. He's going for Earthquake. He knows that this Swampert is the threat. If he can take down the Swampert, then he might have a chance of winning this game, and Rocks are sadly just not going to be something that comes to him in this particular game. But here, I assume he'll just go for the Stealth Rock, expecting to switch out, because the switch into Politoed is really, really obvious, but we'll see if he goes for Stealth Rock or another Earthquake here. He goes for Stealth Rock. Okay, that's a good play on his part. Now he's going to be able to do a lot of damage to this Politoed, or he can switch out, of course, saving the Rough Skin on Garchomp for the Swampert, knowing that he needs as much damage as possible on the Swampert to have any chance of winning this game, as I've said before. Here he goes into his Magnezone, and he takes a fat Scald to the face and gets burned, which is too bad, but this is going to be a free Volt Switch opportunity, and Lucio is definitely not going to leave it in the Politoed. He might even go straight into Swampert here, which would be a good play, or Goodra is also a very good switch. And yeah, Lucio has team matchup in this game. That's what I'm getting here. Lucio seems to have switch-ins for everything Cheese has, and I don't really know if there's much Cheese can do to pull this back, especially with the Azumarill gone, and really not any other huge win conditions. I guess Mega Metagross could be pretty big, especially if Cheese can keep the Swampert in check, and it appears that he's going to try to abuse that here by going into the Mega Metagross against the Goodra on the Dragon Pulse. So this is going to be a free Meteor Mash on something, maybe even an Ice Punch if he wants to just try to KO the Goodra right here, but Lucio makes a good play and goes into Magnezone. If he has Hammer Arm, this would also be a good time to reveal that. He just goes for the Ice Punch, and I guess we'll find out here whether or not this Magnezone is Choice Scarfed. It's Choice Scarfed, alright. It goes for Thunder, and that's going to do a bunch of damage that might even KO the Metagross. It does not KO the Metagross, and Metagross is able to KO the Magnezone with an Earthquake. So that was an interesting turn of events that I did not quite expect. Earthquake, Mega Metagross, I guess is pretty common. I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. I expected a Volt Switch with Magnezone, and then, I don't know, go into something else. But I guess staying in with Magnezone was also a good play, because nothing else on Lucio's team really wants to take the damage from the Mega Metagross. But here, Lucio does bring in the Kabutops and is able to knock out the Magnezone with the Aqua Jet, and I might be wrong on this, but I think Kabutops could clean up from here. Unless this Diggersby has a Focus Sash, and the way Cheeseboy is bringing this in, I'm pretty confident this thing has a Focus Sash. Oh, here he's making a clever play. He's going to go into his Garchomp. Yeah, he's going to go to his Garchomp, and he's going to get the Rough Skin damage off on this Kabutops, plus Life Orb, of course. So this is going to help him with wearing down the Kabutops, potentially to the point where I don't know if a +2 Diggersby Quick Attack can KO. I don't think it can KO from that range. I'm not really sure what exactly he's going for. Okay, okay, rain turns. So he was trying to lessen the rain turns, and that will force the Kabutops to go for an Aqua Jet if it wants to stay in. But Lucio does switch out into Politoed, which again is a good play. Now Cheese could go for an SD here if he has Swords Dance, and then he would get a kill. We'll see what he wants to go for here. Goes for the Swords Dance. Okay, so again, if this is a Focus Sash Diggersby, then he might be able to pull this out, actually. He just goes for the return. This should KO the Politoed, and down goes the Politoed. So, I know that oh, maybe is Goodra still alive? Oh, Swampert. Oh, Swampert's still here. Swampert, Goodra, and Kabutops, I believe, are the Pokemon that are alive. I might be wrong on that, but I think that's what's going on here. And Cheese just goes for the Earthquake, and down goes the Goodra. Does Lucio have anything for this Diggersby? It's not even a Focus Sash Diggersby, it's Life Orb. What do we got here? Why isn't Lucio just going into his Kabutops? I feel like... Wouldn't that just KO everything? Wouldn't that just be game? Does he have... Kabutops is alive, right? I don't even know what's going on right now. It can live a Quick Attack from that range. I'm pretty confident it can live a Quick Attack. Let's see the Aqua Jet here. Even so, it's gonna outspeed on a Swift Swim. Was he okay? Maybe he was just doing the nice guy thing and making the score closer than it actually should have been. But okay, I mean, what's Cheese have left here? What's his switch in? He has Metagross. Aqua Jet's gonna take this out. Yeah, I think that's game. I'm pretty sure that's game, right? Let's see. Okay. So Lucio is doing the nice guy thing and making the game closer than it actually was. So that was game 2. It's now going to be tied up at 1-1 with the rubber match coming up here in a couple days. So stay tuned.